Well, hello lovely. My name is Lindsay and today I am, doing the things, being the pregnant. And it was kind of a rough day, I'm not gonna lie, but Devin took the kids and so I have a few hours to myself. And there's a lot of things I want to get done this weekend. Today's Friday. I want to get lots of stuff done this weekend, including sanding and painting my walls. That's a big one. And then also putting the trim on these cabinets. But I want to do the walls first, then do the trim. So I'm hoping we can get that done this weekend. Hopefully we can get that done in this video. But yesterday I took the boys with me and we went and got groceries. And I don't know what it is. How are groceries so expensive? I don't even know. I don't feel like I bought that much stuff. Like it does look like a lot, but for $200, I feel like I should be able to get more, and it should feel like I have enough. But I did do a meal plan, and that will help. Even though I have yet to make any of the meals on my meal plan. Well, technically I did do the steak and potatoes last night. After I show you my grocery haul from yesterday, I am going to start cleaning up my kitchen because it's just been it's been a thing. It's been such a disaster lately just because we have so much stuff on the counters. I have not been keeping the counters clean because we haven't gotten these projects done. These projects are just gnawing at me, and given that I'm almost 35 weeks pregnant, I'm really feeling the stress of I need to get this done. This needs to get done. I am getting so so let's get into the grocery haul really quick, and then we're gonna get into cleaning the kitchen and starting on sanding these walls. Hopefully that's what I'm gonna do tonight before the boys get home, and we'll see how far I get because I am pregnant and I'm alone. So doing this all by myself, I do get tired out pretty quickly. But let's get into it.
Unpacking all the groceries, 'cause there's so many groceries while Dan plays a game, and I need to do the grocery unpacking, yeah.
Alright, so I went to Walmart and Smith's today for some groceries. Smith's had a few sales that I wanted to check out and grab while I was there, and then also Walmart just had a bunch of the stuff that I needed, so that is where I went. This is everything that I got today. So mail on the floor, obviously. Ignore all that stuff back there. Let's start with the Smith's haul. They had some Bartlett pears. They also had apples on sale. I didn't grab those though because I didn't want apples. These were $1 a pound, or 99 cents a pound. And then this was a great deal. These personal watermelons were 97 cents each. So that's why I grabbed 3 of those. And then I grabbed some on sale meat, reduced meat. This is a top round steak, and it was $4.86 a pound. I got a couple T-bones for $5.42 a pound. So there's one T-bone and then 2 T-bones. And then I grabbed this, whatever it is, a top round steak as well, just thin cut, for $5.19 a pound. So I felt like that was pretty good. I don't know how much I spent, like $23, $4, something like that. And then these were on sale. They're the Mio. They should be sugar free. I don't think there's sugar in them. Yeah, they add sweetener, but they don't have sugar. This is the lemon lime, Arctic grape, mango peach. They're not great, but I like to just use like a tiny little bit when I take my other electrolytes. And then the berry blast, and those were $1.50 each. I just use them for flavor mostly, just in it like a small glass of water with my other electrolytes because I can't drink that stuff straight. This is the electrolyte I use, and I just put a syringe full into my cup, and then I add a little bit of the other flavoring, and then I just do like a quick chug of it, and then I'll drink water. Ignore all the putty. And then I'll drink water the rest of the day, just to hydrate and to stay hydrated, and I feel like it works pretty good. And then I also take like my other supplements while I do that because it's a nice routine. It works for me. Anyway, there were some other sales as well. It was a 5 limit, so I could only get 5. So I grabbed 2 Diet Cokes for me, and then I grabbed Devin the 3 different flavors they had of the 0 sugar Dr. Pepper. That's the one he likes. He doesn't like the regular 0 sugar Dr. Pepper. He likes when they have the added flavors, so that's what I got for him. Still better than regular Dr. Pepper. All right, that's everything I got from Smith's, but I felt like I did pretty good for like a $65 haul. Each of those sodas were $5 each, so $4.99, and then all the other, so $65 at that store. And then I went to Walmart. I grabbed some eggs. Holy cannoli, how expensive are eggs these days? It's gone up again. I can't believe it. It just keeps going up, and it drives me crazy. I grabbed these 36 count snacking Monterey Colby Jack cheese, whatever it is. My kids love these. My husband loves them. It's just nice to have. And then I have this. I grabbed some carrots, whole carrots, some baby carrots, some potatoes, just a 10-pound bag of potatoes, some strawberries. We like fresh fruits and veggies in this house. We don't do a lot of processed foods unless it's like processed meats and stuff, or soda. That is one that we do. And then some bananas. This thing right here in front of me. I grabbed some turkey breast, some Black Forest ham. Dan said he had to have this kind. He's 4. He doesn't really know what he wants. But then he was saying he wanted tuna, and my sister says she likes it in the pouch, so I thought I'd try that. So I thought that was kind of fun. I'm gonna try those and see if they're yummy. I don't know. I don't really love dealing with the cans and the water and everything, so I felt like that was a good idea. And then some sandwich bags that my 1-year-old decided to take a bite out of, and some quart-size freezer bags that we can use, some no sugar added milk chocolate chips. These are my favorite. Honestly, we put these in our freezer and they get snacked on like crazy. We grabbed some heavy-duty aluminum foil, which has been very much needed in my kitchen, I will say. And there's a couple other things back there I'll get to in a second. Some broccoli florets, and Dan was very adamant that he wanted this kind, so I was like, great. Peas and carrots frozen. Sometimes I just like to do these for like lunches just to add a little color. Broccoli and cauliflower. I have a meal planned for this to do teriyaki chicken along with it. I make my own marinade and everything, so it's sugar-free and stuff. And then some berry blend. I have some strawberries in the freezer too, so I wanted to kind of supplement it with a little bit more color and stuff when we make smoothies. Speaking of smoothies, I get the pineapple juice to go in the smoothies just to give it that like tartness, you know, but there's no sugars added into it. It is just 100% pineapple juice, so it's good for smoothies. And yeah, my sister also told me about that, so I feel good about that as well. And then I also put like cottage cheese in the smoothies because I feel like it makes it more creamy. I'll do yogurt too if I feel like it, but cottage cheese adds more protein. And then sugar-free chocolate flavored syrup. I just feel like we're always running out of this for the boys for their chocolate milk. So I grabbed 2 of those. And speaking of something we are always running out of, don't ask me why, I just feel like I'm always running out of baking powder. So I grabbed the big one. It was cheaper per ounce as well anyway. So grab that. It should last until April of 2026, so I think we're good there. This is white vinegar for my kitchen to put in my fridge, some white vinegar to use for cleaning. The carpets I cleaned in my last video. They still kind of smelled, so I was like, I'm just gonna get a lot of vinegar and really use fill up the water tank with like half vinegar, half water, and then clean the carpets again and see if that helps. I don't think it smells as bad now that it's dry, but it's still, it still kind of stinks. So I was just like, yeah. And then they have the huge a 64-ounce thing of whipping cream at Walmart now. So I didn't know that they had the Great Value version of this, but that was pretty exciting. So I grabbed that. I needed some heavy cream, and then I grabbed 3 gallons of milk. 2 expire on the 9th and 1 expires on the 5th. So I think we're doing pretty good there. And I needed some tongs. These I think were like $5. I don't remember. But I needed some new tongs that weren't falling apart. And then I have a couple things that I just needed some mini baking cups. So I grabbed some of those. And then I got this rope for our 2 crazy big dogs to hopefully play tug of war. We'll see. We'll see if it works out. And then Dan got to pick out a special cup that goes in his bathroom for drinking water at night. And that's his cup that he picked out. And then I grabbed some construction paper because I want to set up a nice little area for the boys for coloring and such. But that's everything I got at the store today. It feels like I should have gotten some more stuff with how much I spent, because I spent an arm and a leg. I spent about $200 on everything. So my goodness, everything's so expensive these days.
It sure is, Lindsay. Anyway, so here is all the putty that I have been doing over the past little while, just puttying the holes that are in the house, any spots that needed to be fixed, cracks in the walls. I probably didn't even get everything. I have found some cracks and holes still that are like little, so they're not as potent as prominent as the ones I'm showing you that I already went over. But yeah, it was crazy. So this is before sanding everything. Devin took the boys out of the house for a little while, and I was able to get quite a bit of sanding done. I was able to sand everything and vacuum it up before they came home and get in the shower, which is highly important after you sand everything. But before I started on that project, I did clean off my counters, because that was such a blessing to be able to have the time to really clean these counters off, because they hadn't been cleaned in a long time. Like, just like getting all the clutter off, I'd like wiped them down, the parts that are visible, and I did not get the whole kitchen clean, but I was able to clean off my counters, light a candle, and you'll see the shelf I have that's hanging up on the wall it's a clutter magnet right now. I've never styled it. Once I get it all styled and nice, I think it'll be much better, but I just have not gotten around to it. It has not been a priority, and honestly, I don't even care that much right now. It is what it is. I have some things that I would like to put up there to make it look a little nicer. It just hasn't been my objective. I have not gotten around to it. I think I'm more focused on trying to maintain the clutter that's on the tops of the counters, because that's more important to me. That basket that goes underneath that shelf definitely needs a good declutter as well. It's kind of like a catch-all basket, which is good to have, but I don't clear it out enough. I need to clear it out even more. I just need to make sure I give it some time to like clear out these spaces. But getting the counters cleaned off was just highly important to me. So that was number one priority, even over sanding the walls and getting that started. That was also important, but not as important as cleaning off my counters. And so I was able to sand everything, and then so once I had the counters cleared, and I even had to sand things above the counters, it was so much easier to wipe off all the dust and everything because of getting the counters cleared off first. And I'm sure there's still dust everywhere from doing that, because it just doesn't go anywhere. There's so much dust when you sand putty. When you have to putty something and then sand it down, it's just such a big mess. And so there's still spots on my ceiling that I have yet to get to, because that part is just the part that really, really is hard to get to, because it gets absolutely everywhere. At least on the walls, it just goes straight down onto the floor. But when you do the ceiling, it just like sprays everywhere, and it's hard to do because it gets on your head and in your eyes. And there's probably some points in time when I'm sanding that it got in my eyes, and I'm like trying to wipe it with my shirt and stuff, which is why I ended up taking a shower after. It was very important to do that. But getting the sink cleared out was a highlight. And I will say I have been able to keep my sink and my counters a lot clearer. There's still more stuff on my counters right now than I'd like, but they are clearer, and I have every day, the last 3 or 4 days at least, I've been able to empty my entire sink. I got it empty. My sink is empty. But I was able to empty out my entire sink the last few days and get a load of laundry turned over before I go to bed. And I will say that just that small routine before going to bed has been really, really such a blessing. So yeah, also there's all the food and gunk at the bottom there that just is so nasty. I don't know how many days it'd been that I hadn't been able to clear out my sink, so this was such a great thing to be able to get that done. And then I took all the stuff that was just kind of sitting there next to the stairs on the counter to take down. Gotta drink my water. But yeah, I was able to take those boxes down that had been sitting there for a long time. Some of them are clothes that I'd taken out of the baby's closet that needed to just be out of his closet. I need to declutter their clothes a little bit. I need to pare down how many they have, but that's just another thing on my list, you know? But yeah, here I am trying to wipe out the the sand that's getting in my eyes from sanding that one spot on the ceiling. So I haven't sanded everything. I think I do sand this part right here though on the ceiling, and it's just those two. Well, there's one other spot ceiling, but I don't think I filmed sanding it. I don't know, maybe I did. But yeah, you can see all the sand just kind of falling off. It's crazy. The dust, and it's crazy. There's so much. And yeah, so I textured the ceiling to match, and then I just kind of scuff sanded the ceiling there just to make it look a little bit more like it is meant to be there for when we actually paint it. And I do plan on painting that entire landing hallway area a different color. That's just the color it was when we moved in. We did the upstairs. We've done all of the upstairs, but we have yet to do anything in the basement or hallway down, like, or the stairwell. So that's a project. I have paint. My sister gave me like this 5-gallon thing of paint, so I'm thinking it'll be nice. When they moved out of their place, they didn't need it, so they gave it to me, and I think it'll be very good for that space for sure. But you know, also I got a new vacuum. I found it on Facebook Marketplace, and it was getting mad at me because of all the dust. I did have to clean the filter because I did get it from someone else, so I hadn't cleaned the filter yet, so it was like getting mad at me. And once I cleared the filter out, cleaned it, like washed it really good, it was working a lot better. But so it didn't really work for this project, but I'd used it a few times before and I really like it. It's the Tineco, I don't know, Tineco. I have heard of the brand. I've never used it before, but I found it on Facebook Marketplace for a really great deal. But I'll link the vacuum that it is below if you guys want to check it out. Maybe you guys can find one like it on Facebook Marketplace as well. I would recommend looking for that kind of stuff on Facebook Marketplace before you buy new, because sometimes you can get a really good product for a lot cheaper, and test it out before you spend a lot of money on something. I'm gonna test it out for a while and see how I like it, but I do really like it. I have another cordless vacuum that I bought a while ago, and it's kind of fallen apart. It still works, but I let the boys use it mostly. Also, I had these like film things to make this window on the door have like a frost effect, but I noticed that they would fall off all the time. Devin and me were always putting it back on, like we'd have to wet it down and press it on there and hold it on there. And so I just decided to get this spray, and honestly this stuff works really good. I had it, and my mother-in-law came over and she's like, "Oh my gosh, that looks so good." And I was like, "I know." And I handed her the can. I'm like, "Take it home, you guys can try it on your window." And I really like it. It makes it look really nice and uniform. And so I just took off the frame sprayed the whole thing. Had to fan the door a little bit to the smell, you know.
Why does it have a front?
Dan's cute little voice. But then I just, once the paint was dry, I just put the frame back on, and look how much better it looks. Like it you can't see through it. I feel like it's a lot more private. But yeah, so I threw away the little films that were on it. And off camera, I had actually primed all of the spots that I sanded, and here I am just going in with the little tiny little paint roller to get the actual paint color on. And I just did one coat. It was plenty. There's probably a few spots that could use a little bit more, but it looks so much better even just doing just this paint job. Like, just paint is crazy how much better things will look. The tape that I used and the putty really helped make it look so much better, and you'll see I get some other things done too, and that's so great. Like, we put the trim up on the cabinets in this video. It feels so much better. It's crazy how much a paint can will do, and just doing some things that need to get done, you know. And you'll see I'm covering it up, and it's a pretty thick paint. It's a Behr paint, and I really like Behr, but it does a pretty good job. I think there's like a couple spots that, like the little spot above that door frame, I think I'll get it to it in just a minute, but that spot you can kind of tell that it's not the exact right color. The spot that I'm doing right, not yet apparently. 1 second. When do I get to it? Let's see. Do you see that spot above the door frame right there that I'm talking about? That one, the one that I'm doing right now. Anyway, I was like, I know it's coming, but that spot I didn't go over probably as well as some of the other spots that I did. And I taped some things that I was really worried about getting this color paint on. Other things like there's quite a bit of trim like around this window and other spots that I was like, I will probably have to redo the paint on this trim and the paint around the room anyway really soon. So I was like, I'm not that worried about getting this like creamy color on it. It's not that much of a different color anyway. It is enough that you can see it if I got it on the ceiling, which I got it on the ceiling in some spots because I went too close to the ceiling. And then there were some marks behind this picture frame that I needed to touch up as well, and just, you know, all over. Dan got a new car seat too. I bought one from Walmart that I just was not impressed with, so I ended up taking that one back. It was a Cosco, Cosco brand, and I did not like it. It's like a high back booster, and I just did not like it with the 5-point strap. It didn't have good headrests on the side, and it just, anyway, he didn't really like it either. But, you know, obviously the moment I took it back, he's like, "Where's my car seat?" And I'm like, "Don't worry, we have a new one coming for you." And the new one came, and I really like, it's a Graco. It's much nicer. I ended up actually putting it on my registry so that I could get the 15% off discount that you get when you have a registry on Amazon. So I was able to get that little discount on it as well as the sale that was going on. So it went from like $120 to $90 from their sale, and then I saved another like $13 with the 15% off. So I was pretty happy about that. This is another day, and after painting the night before, I was pretty tired, but I wanted to get this done. Oh, that water was nasty. I was cleaning these trim pieces that Devin and I had cut so that we could put them above our cabinets up above, and they look nice. There's one trim piece that we have to redo because we cut it wrong. Anyway, you know how that goes, I'm sure. But it feels so good just to get these little projects done. And yes, I know I'm in my church dress. I'm in my church dress, and I am painting. It is what it is. I did really well, and I don't think I got any paint on my dress. And if I did, you know, it's fine. No one would tell. No one could tell because it's like, you know, It's a pattern, so who's going to be sitting there staring at my dress? I tried really hard not to, but I was just also like, I don't want to change. So I didn't change. Anyway, but yeah, it looks so much better. These pieces of trim used to be on the window. I don't know what just happened. I think, oh, the robot vacuum was hitting the camera just then. Anyway, I was like, what is going on? Anyway, yeah, the robot vacuum kept hitting my tripod. Anyway, so here I am. These required like 4 coats of paint, so I didn't film every coat of paint I put on. I think I did the first 2, and then I was like, I can't, I can't film anymore. So I didn't. And then here we are. We had to put a trim piece behind the piece. So this is the first one we're putting on. I'm just making sure it's level, and then Devin helped me put it on, and we're just testing out the nail gun, and it was not going in quite as much as I would like to, but it went in for the most part. And so I'm like, well, I can always just, paint it. But this first one, it was the trial because it's not actually going to show that one because we have another piece going in front of it because the piece that is not being covered in that first part was jutted out a little bit more than that piece that goes above the range. And so yeah, here we put this on, and then the piece that I tried to put the piece on the edge, and it just did not do well. That was the piece that we didn't put up, is the one on the side there. So you don't see us putting that up. But me and Devin, we finished putting up all the other pieces here, and this one we had to redo. So you'll see Devin pull it off. So he puts it on, and then I'm like, Devin, is there any way we could pull it off? And we pull it off, and we put it back on. It is what it is. And yeah, it's because I was like, it didn't go all the way to the corner. It's like, oh no, because I guess I had it was cut too small, and so I was like, I can silicone the edge on the other side, but I can't really fix a really messed up corner. I do need to glue it still though, because it doesn't match up perfectly unless I like hold it in a certain position. So I'm like, if I glue it, it should go to where I need it to be. But yeah, it is what it is. So Devin pulled it off, and then we put it back on. And that part of the ceiling is really crooked. There's like a part that juts down. So I don't know. It's not perfect. It's pretty good though, and I like it still. My amazing handy husband. He's just the best. He always helps me out with these projects that I get in my mind. And obviously this is one that's been needing to be done for a long time, but these are old pieces that we had around our windows, and it's just, reusing old material that you pulled down from somewhere else in your house isn't the worst idea. Corners will need some TLC, but I mean, it definitely is an improvement even without that piece on that one side. It does finish up the kitchen a little bit. We just need to hang the curtains and the stuff that goes on that wall now. But that is another project for another day. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!